Hey there, Millers. Welcome to another episode of Hands-on Yukon. Today's video is primarily focused on how to find the volume of regular shaped objects, such as this cube, or how to find the volume of an unknown amount of liquid, or maybe you need to be able to find the volume of an irregular shaped object like this rock. So first we're going to start with finding the volume of regularly shaped objects. In any case, when you have a regularly shaped object, to find the volume, you first need to know the formula. And since we're working with a cube here, or a rectangular prism, the formula for that happens to be volume equals length times width times height. So in order to find the length, width, and height of this cube, you first need to use your metric ruler, which we have here, and we are going to measure to the nearest millimeter. So in this case, our cube happens to be just about 2.3 centimeters wide, and then we're going to find the length here, which happens also to be 2.3 centimeters in length, and then we're going to measure the height, which is also 2.3 centimeters in height. That's good news. That means we're working with a perfect cube. Now, to fill out our formula, we plug in these numbers. 2.3 centimeters for length times 2.3 centimeters for width times 2.3 centimeters for height. Just like that. Okay. After doing the math, we find that this equals 12.17. And since we're finding the volume, or the amount of space an object takes up in a three-dimensional world, we need our units to have three dimensions. So in this case, our units were centimeters, and our dimensions were 3. So we have 12.17 cubic centimeters for the volume of this cube. Next up, we're going to try to find the volume of an unknown amount of liquid. In order to find the volume of an unknown amount of liquid, you first need the right equipment. In this case, the right equipment will be graduated cylinders. And you have 5 of these at each of your stations. Okay, you have one that measures up to 10 milliliters in increments of 0.2 milliliters apiece. But you also have one that goes all the way up to 250 milliliters, measuring in increments of 5. Today, for this particular video, we're going to use the graduated cylinder that measures up to 100 in increments of 1 milliliter apiece. So to do this, you first need to know what your meniscus is, which is the line that we read when measuring liquid volume. Remember from our notes, the meniscus is this curved line that is found in any container that holds a liquid. We always measure from the bottom of the meniscus and draw an imaginary line straight out to find what milliliter mark it is at. We never measure from the top of the meniscus. So let's pour some of this unknown amount of liquid into our graduated cylinder. Okay, in this case, we have some in here. Now what you don't want to do when reading a graduated cylinder is read from an angle that is facing up. It makes it look like there's more liquid in there than there is, and if you look from the top down, it makes it look like there's less. So always look directly at the liquid. In this case, it happens to be 39 milliliters. Okay, so to find the volume of unknown liquid, place it in here, read from the meniscus. In this case, it's 39. We're going to keep this liquid in here so that we can use it to find the volume of our unknown irregular solid. So to do that, first you need to put some water into a graduated cylinder. The beginning amount does not matter, but always make sure that you record the initial amount. So our initial volume is 39 milliliters. Okay, and then we're also going to measure the final after we insert the irregular object. So to insert this, we're going to turn our graduated cylinder at an angle. We do this so that when we drop the object in, it doesn't splash up and water doesn't leave the graduated cylinder. It also doesn't make a mess. So turn at an angle, put your irregular shaped object in, slowly insert it, and let it fall down without making a splash. Now what you may have noticed is that this water level raised quite a bit. That is because the rock displaced a certain amount of water in this graduated cylinder, meaning that it took up the space that the water once occupied. So let's find out what our final measurement is here. Remember, don't measure at an upward angle or a downward angle. Always we're going to measure looking directly at it. In this case, our final measurement of the water and the rock is 50 milliliters. So I'm going to record that next to my final 50 milliliters. Now, to find the volume of the rock, or the amount of space the rock displaced, you take your final measurement of 50 milliliters in this case, minus 39 from our initial measurement, and we end up with 11 milliliters. Okay, we know that milliliters happen to be synonymous with cubic centimeters, so we can say that 11 milliliters is also 11 cubic centimeters. I hope this video was helpful in you being able to find the volume of regular solids, or maybe the volume of an unknown amount of liquid, or maybe you needed to find out the volume of irregular solids. In any case, I hope this video was helpful, and I wish you luck in the labs to come while you practice measuring volume.